Slager has now been fired. He's been arrested. He's been booked. He's in prison. City officials held a news conference today to talk about the incident. Protesters interrupted a few times with chants of no justice, no peace. It was very testy. So describe that for us.
Yeah, testy, I think it might be an understatement. Some parts of that were just downright unruly. When the mayor there stepped up, also City Police Chief Eddie Dreigers, when he was there as well. At one point in particular, when the police chief was questioned about CPR. As you know, according to some of the police officers who showed up there at the scene immediately following the shooting, suggested that and simply said that the officers performed CPR. Some there at the press conference, Jake, were questioning that. It doesn't appear, at least in some parts of the video, if the officers performed a CPR. In other parts of the video, it's unclear. And then there's a later part in the video where it does seem as if one officer does seem to be performing some sort of life-saving type of activity there. But this was the point when the police chief was questioned about it. His answer didn't satisfy some of those there who showed up at the press conference.
In the end of it, what I saw was I believe to be a police officer removing the shirt of the individual and performing some type of life-saving. But I'm not sure what took place there.
But you don't know if CPR was performed.
Oh, I do not know. I was told that life-saving, that they tried to save his life.
I do not know. That did not satisfy some of those who were there. Another point, Jake, that was brought up, and that had to do with the officer's taser. As you said, that Michael Slager simply said that what had happened was there was some sort of a struggle over his taser, and at one point in the video, it seems to show the officer dropping an object near Scott's body. A lot of people there who showed up at that press conference feel as though that object that was dropped was in fact a taser, and that what the officer was trying to do was trying to plant that taser. The police chief was asked about that during the press conference. He said he could not talk about that simply because the investigation, as you know, has been turned over to an independent entity, that being the South Carolina State Law Enforcement Division. So a lot of people who showed up, Jake, simply in this community, still looking for answers, still not getting the answers that they're looking for.
Jason, what happens next to this officer?
Well, as you say, the officer has been fired, and his attorney, who was representing him all the way up until just yesterday, has dropped him. His attorney dropped him after that damaging video surfaced. So at this point, we're going to have to wait to hear from the new attorney, whoever that attorney may be. At this point, who that attorney is simply unclear.
Jason Carroll live in North Charleston.